Call it a journey. Call it an adventure. This is the PVL on tour. Each new stop brings new battles. And here we have arrived at the heart of Rizal in Montalban. Up in the lush, towering heights, waterways, and wildlife. We are just getting started. And no matter where we are, the competition is getting more intense. And as you can see, we are here in the heart of nature. So buckle up, the PVL on tour continues to roll on to an arena near you. And this is the PVL, the heart of volleyball.
Beautiful sights and sounds in our venue as we begin day number 7 of our PVL on tour conference. And our second day here in Montalban, Rizal. We are live inside the Inares Center, Montalban, and we are ready for our matchups today as we begin with the Akari Chargers going up against the Chery Tiggo Crossovers. Both teams coming off wins in their matches yesterday. And then later on, we still have the Capital One Solar Spikers going up against the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Good day to all our viewers on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and of course on Pilipinas Live. Dip Bianco. We also have Alexis Tinsay, who welcomed us a while ago here in Montalban as our courtside reporter. And of course, Andre Mulyacanda. And it's so nice to have this PVL on tour dahil napapabiyahe tayo to different parts of the Philippines.
Oh, definitely. And I think for the players and for the teams, it's something that they also look forward to.
Right, let's check out the team standings first and foremost to give a picture of how it is like right now in our tournament for Pool A.
Well, for Pool A, we know that we have 12 teams divided into 2 pools. For Pool A, we have the Nexat Camille still undefeated at the moment. We have 3 teams no, na dikit-dikit dito sa gitna, all with 1 wins. But good to focus on Pool B. This is where both teams belong today. And nakikita natin dito, no, Akari, you did mention, and Chery Tiggo, both actually getting their first win here in this conference. And we're hoping that they will carry on the momentum from yesterday because it is the top 2 spots na talagang importante para sa lahat ng koponan.
Right at the middle of the pack, itong Chery Tiggo and Akari with those important wins that they had yesterday. Let's focus first on the Akari Chargers and that win in 5 sets yesterday against the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. And the player that really played huge for them was the Lady Bees, Gretchen Sultones, who willed her team to that victory in that match.
And it is this kind of balance that we are looking for. We know that and we expect that Laxina would deliver, but in times where she can't, the Lady Beast really delivered. She had 23 points in that last match. I think, you know, her condition that we are seeing now, this is so much better. She looks healthier than in the All-Filipino Conference.
Oh, you're right, Anna. As I have said in the coverage yesterday, a healthy Gretchen Sultones will be scary for their opponents. And she showed that in that performance with 23 points to lead all scorers. Meanwhile, on the defensive side, a lady that helped her out was Dani Ravenna, who was impressive with her performance as well. These are her numbers against Zeus Coffee.
You know, they say defense wins games, and I think for Akari, this is why they were able to prevent that reverse sweep that was bound to happen yesterday. Ravenna with 22 digs and 43 reception efficiency.
Which is why she played the rest of the game for the Akari Chargers and for Coach Tina Salak. If you want to know more about, by the way, Alexis got to speak with her. I think may onting jet lag pa si Coach Tina. No, kakabalik lang niya, Alexis.
You're right on that. Dip and Ann, would you believe that si Coach Tina pala just arrived 5 days prior to their first match, and that's crazy because look at the magic, look at the results. It's their first ever win. It's such a big comeback after Akari losing twice in Vigan. And now when Coach Tina came back, she was surrounded by hundreds of questions by all of the Akari Chargers with their new roles, their new identities overall, its new system from the former Coach T to the new Coach T. And with that, she said all you have to do is to let go of the ropes. You have to trust your new coach and I will trust you back. So napakaganda talaga ng narinig natin from Coach Tina. And talking more about Akari, they're so happy to go around the Philippines and go around the country. And let's watch in Faith Desperos taking a look at the beautiful spots here in Montalban, Rizal. Let's watch this.
Hi, I'm Faith Desperos and we're having our detour here at Montalban, Rizal. We are here today at Avilon Zoo, the biggest zoo in the Philippines. Kaya talaga tayo nandito sa Avilon Zoo kasi naghahanap ako ng team mascot namin, yung unicorn. So, sana makahanap tayo, di ba? We found the African lions. They're over there resting. Oh my gosh, nakataas yung mga paa nila, like resting lang. Since wala pa tayo nakikitang unicorn, hanap muna tayo ng eagle. Ayan. Alam niyo ba, I was teased as a giraffe before. Kasi I was really tall when I was in grade school. Oh my God, what was that? Lalaki. So his name is Barry. May palapit na siya. Hi! Hi, Barry! So Barry, kamusta ka naman? Oh! So, mukha ba ang giraffe? Mukha ba kami ni Barry? Barry Akari. So, wala tayong nahanap na chameleons, but nakahanap tayo ng snakes. Ayan sila, okay. They're kind of scary. On. Ay, lizard siya. Hi to our sister team. Next sled. Hello. It was calling me kanina, making the sounds. So, this is the white-bellied sea eagle. This is the white-bellied sea eagle. Hello. Oh, look at those dark eyes. Wow. Si Danny. Di joke lang. Very, eagle-focused, ganon, Danny. So that ends our journey today. Wala man tayong nahanap ng unicorn. Marami naman akong nakita for the first time na animals tulad ng lion, ng tiger, leopard. But yeah,
And says double digits, 15 points, and really fresh, not literally fresh and good showing. She was the 8th overall pick and definitely proving why she deserves this spot.
And of course, coming off a championship stint as well in the UAAP Lumaban with the De La Salle Lady Spikers, and also a player that everyone waited for to see action yesterday was Aimee Hernandez. It's been a while since we saw her in action, almost 2 years for Aimee Hernandez para sa Chery Tiggo Crossovers.
But you know, it's right. No? It's like she never left. She had 8 points in that game. She looks solid and looks like she is really back in top shape. So I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward for what's to come here in this tournament with Aimee Hernandez.
Right. The only way is up for Aimee Hernandez. And isa pang rookie na gusto natin pag-usapan, and nakausap din ni Alexis earlier.
Yes, Dipenaan, nakausap ko si Renee Peñafiel, who scored 11 points last game, and she told me na alam mo ba, sobrang kinabahan daw siya ng sets 1 and 2, pero nakausap niya si Mama Mylene Taat, who told her, you are here for a reason, and that is why building trust and communication among your teammates is really important for the Chery Tiggo Crossovers. Moreover, hindi ko pa nakwento sa inyo, actually hindi siya nag-play sa kanyang last playing year, kaya kitang-kita mo daw na iba yung gutom ng isang Renee Peñafiel when it comes to the Pro League. Now, more on the Chery Tiggo Crossovers. Let's watch Pauline Gaston share their journey towards their first ever victory here in the preseason. Let's watch this.
My favorite memory was having my family and my friends and my fans come all the way from wherever just to watch our game here in Montalban. Memorable siya kasi syempre we're not playing in our usual courts in Metro Manila. Some of them lumipad pa from Singapore, came from Mexico, Pampanga, and even my teammates, they also have the same experience with their own family and friends and fans. So also to all the fans that came here to Montalban, really felt the love. That's something that I will carry with me forever. Definitely the road big trips, and I think the team bondings, the whole experience of being able to room with my teammates and the memories that we're gonna make here, because playing on tour means meeting more people, meeting more of the fans, and traveling all together. So syempre, I think the bonding of the team is gonna become better and stronger because we're all gonna be in one quarters and then we're gonna travel together. So this is a good experience for us. Hello po to all the PVL fans. I hope you are excited to see us, just as excited we are to see you guys and for you to watch us play. We're gonna give our all, and I hope you guys can watch live wherever you are and wherever we go. Sundan yung mga games namin dito sa PVL.
And talking about stronger connection, we also want to connect with our fans online, and that is why we have a live poll question under the Filipinas Live app. And the question is, which squad will have more energy on floor defense?
All right, we're ready to go at it as we send this to our arena announcer for the start of this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United Center in Montalban, Rizal. This is match number 13 of the Premier Volleyball League on Tour 2025. This matchup features the Akari Chargers versus the Chery Tiggo Crossovers. And now let's meet our officials for this match. Our first referee, Bobby Celso, national referee. Our second referee, Daniel Palada, national referee. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starters. First, for the Akari Chargers. Opposite hitter from Adamson University, number 24, team captain, Ellie Soyud. Outside spiker from the Far Eastern University, number 6, Chery Tiggo. Center from the University of the Philippines, number 7, Camille Cal. Middle blocker from FEU, number 8, Ezra Madrigal. Middle blocker also from FEU, number 13, Ced Domingo. Outside spiker from the National University, number 16, Ivy Laxina. Starting libero from the Ateneo de Manila University, number 1, Danny Ravenna. Head coach for Akari is Tina Salak. And now the starters for the Chery Tiggo Crossovers. Middle blocker from De La Salle University, number 2, team captain, Abby Maranyo. Outside spiker from the National University, number 1, Cez Robles. Middle blocker from the University of Santo Tomas, number 5, Aimee Hernandez. Opposite hitter from La Salle, number 10, Ara Galang. Center from UST, number 11, Alina Vicar. Outside spiker also from UST, number 14, Rene Peñafiel. Starting libero from Adamson University, number 15, Karen Verdeflor. And the head coach for Chery Tiggo is Norman Miguel. This game is held under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. It is match number 13 between Akari and Chery Tiggo. This is the PVL, the heart
Let's check out the starters for the Akari Chargers. One change there as Chery Tiggo will start once again for Coach Tina Salak as an outside hitter replacing Gretchen Soltones from yesterday's match. And for the Chery Tiggo Crossovers, noticeably we can see Ara Galang in the lineup after not playing in their first game yesterday and joined by the rest of their players who started out in that match. So we begin this one on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. We thank you all for joining us this Sunday afternoon. Dip Dipianco with Anne Remulla Kanda covering the match together with Alexis Tinsay at the sidelines. So this is going to be supposed to be a good matchup, and because both teams are coming off wins in yesterday's matches.
And that's what we did mention earlier. Both teams on a momentum. You know, for this weekend, you'd also want to end it on a high note.
Yeah.
Hopefully get another win.
A good start for Akari after that attack earlier by Laksina, and then the service ace delivered by Ezra Madrigal. So 2-0 to begin for the Chargers, who finally got that monkey off their backs after losing their first 2 games. Another point for Akari as they are off to a 3-0 start here.
Good aggressive start for Akari.
First clean attempt here for Chery Tiggo on that Robles attack. Laksina again. Dug by Verde Flor. Cess this time converts and puts Chery Tiggo on the board.
That was a tough angle for Robles.
Chery Tiggo, meanwhile, won in 4 sets against the Capital One Solar Spikers. They dropped the opening set and then went on to win the next 3 to finish the game in 4. Eli Soyud picks up from where she left off yesterday as we get this report from Alexis Tinsay. Alexis?
Dipinan back inside the Naras Center in Montalban, Rizal, coming off that solid 5-set thriller. Eli Soyud with 19 points yesterday told me that indeed the Chargers were pushed to their limit, but they refused to fold. After going up 2 sets to none, they suddenly found themselves fighting off a reverse sweep threat from Zeus Coffee. We had to keep reminding ourselves to stay composed, lalo na sa 5th set. It was about eagerness and patience. Zeus was really hard to score against. Ang lalim ng depensa nila, pero mas nag-connect kami sa dulo. Galing kaming vegan, bagong system, maraming nagkakapapa. Pero may moments na nalilito pa sa rotation, but now natututo kami mag-adjust as one team. Now let's head on over back to the game, but first let's listen into the timeout.
Serve tayo. Dito si Ka, nandito na yung bola. Di ba yung sinasabi, bitawan mo na si middle para nakadalawa ka na. Yan. Kasi nandito si middle eh, nandito na oh, out of system na sila, hindi na sila nagbabato ng bola sa quick, di ba? Okay, go na, go, go, go! Go, pasa!
Chery, on top!
Some early reminders right there for Chery Tiggo. They can't let Akari take such a big lead here in set number 1. Some specific reminders for Hernandez on who to man at the net.
Coach Norman Miguel pressing the buzzer early. Let's see how they will respond as they trail by 4. Make that 5 after a rejection from Ivy Laksina.
Look at that. Perfect timing from Laksina.
Saradong sarado, and now they are at the 6-1 commanding lead. Soyud with a serve. And both players, Verde Flor and Peñafiel, avoiding kahiyaan, and that went on to be an ace.
That shows the need for communication. But also Soyud, her serve. Which I think I jinxed. I gotta say,
welcome
it was
back.
welcome back. It was tough to get a good pass on her serves, but an opportunity here for Chery Tiggo.
A lucky break for the Crossovers, who badly needed the point because Akari was threatening to pull away early. Domingo. Somebody touched the net. That was Peñafiel. Too eager. That's a couple of errors now from her. As we get to the first technical timeout, Akari up by 6.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Back inside the United Center in Montalban as we check out the draft picks for the Chery Tiggo Crossovers, a haul that they did in the most recent PVL draft.
They were one of the more busier teams, adding more names to their roster.
More players also drafted in this year's edition as compared to 2024. So teams are really revving up and adding players to their squad as we go on to this rally so far. Back with Akari. Tagaod. Oh, nice dig from Robles. Peñafiel. Back row from Ivy. Wanting beaten. Galang was there. She had to get away. For Verde Flor to bump that set. Play on. The tip. The players scrambling down on the floor. But Robles has been steady. Peñafiel again. Ravenna with a dig. Great action we're seeing as Laxina puts it away.
Both teams displaying great defense.
And that should wake us all up after that play from both teams.
You know, that was a long one, and all of the hits were quite strong.
You like what you saw, though, from Chery Tiggo being active on both ends. Despite being down here, the errors continue to pile up. Peñafiel sending that long. They won't challenge. And Shaya Adorador will be quick to enter the game and replace the rookie.
Could also be a case of some nerves and a bit of pressure in today's match. Alexis did mention earlier, yesterday yung nervyos daw. So,
yeah, nandun pa rin.
Maylene had to talk to her and tell her that she can do it.
Ended up with 11 points, though, but we'll see if she'll be able to get her bearings going later. Domingo, meanwhile, gets her first point.
Things going well for Akari. On the side of Chery Tiggo, I think they first need to focus on their net defense and floor defense. Just keep the ball alive.
Another service error for the Chargers. So 2 out of the 3 points right now of Chery Tiggo are from the service errors of Akari.
Right now, they have to take matters into their own hands. They have to score the points. Put a stop right away to Akari, but how to do that is the big question.
Oh, you mentioned the confidence earlier of some of the rookies. Tagaod has not lacked in that department. Confident on the attack and forces Chery Tiggo to call their final timeout early on.
Tayo ang serve natin, Lobo, nasa libero pa napupunta. Hindi naman yun ang tinitrain natin. Maintindihan? Kailangan pahirapan muna natin sila sa pasa kung gaano tayo nila pinapahirapan. Hindi pwedeng sila lang ang nag-aano dyan. Let's go!
Let's go!
Sige,
Sige. Wala na yan dapat ingatan dyan. Ilaban nyo na yan. Nasa 150.
Sige natin, best, ha? Malayo pa yan. Sorry. On top. Malayo pa yan.
Timeout called by the Crossovers. I'm not sure how much sleep the Akari Chargers got last night because the game ended around 10 p.m. I think nung nag-5 sets, but definitely maganda yung gising nila today.
Oh yes, definitely. On the side of Chery Tiggo though, no, it is execution. I think that is what they need to work on. Sabi nga ni Coach kanina, hindi naman yun ang pinapractice nila. Why give it directly to the best receiver on the other side?
No, we haven't really seen a clean execution up until that point. As Abby Maranyo scores for the Crossovers.
That was a good call for that play. Just one blocker for Maranyo. But they will be needing more of that.
Yeah. 4 serving 12 here in the first set. Cal will set it up back to Tagaod. Put up by Adorador. Robles is met at the net. Joust. Now onto the side of the Chargers. The push. Decar chooses Robles again. Back with Akari to the middle. They go. And it won't be kept up by the Chargers as Chery Tiggo gets another point.
That was a good call for the timeout. They've earned back-to-back points.
Well, let's see if they could ride on this momentum. Oh, Madrigal was the one who set up the play to Tagaod. Nunag, easy pickup. Ses breaks the block. And here come the Crossovers with 3 in a row.
She has been the bright spot for Chery Tiggo.
Well, led all scorers against Capital One yesterday with 17 points in total. Oh, pancake save by Galang. Chance again for the Chargers. And this time it drops for Madrigal. Great effort coming from Galang there. Unfortunately, on the second try, hindi na naiangat.
What we have to appreciate also the distribution that we're seeing in the sets on the side of Akari. Really making the blockers of Chery Tiggo work.
Poor first ball leads to a chance for Akari. Here comes Tagaod. Galang was there. Picard tosses back to Robles. And Ravena with a nice save. Double jump for Madrigal. Keeps the ball up. Straight to Cal. Ezra sets it up to Soyud. Shaya was there. Robles again. Jenny with the extension. Back row from Ivy. Play on. And Ses is blocked. God, Akari Chargers asserting themselves at the net early.
And that is very important. You make your presence felt right there at the net.
That's their third kill block as a team from different players. So that one from Soyud. We also had one from Laxina and Sed Domingo a while ago. The change in players once more for Chery Tiggo. Nabor will be their setter. And Maranyo will get that easy point.
Maranyo so comfortable at the net.
No, only 2 players have scored so far for Chery Tiggo in Robles and Maranyo. Akari has twice as many points as their opponents. Robles had to take a double step, which is why the blockers of Akari were ready.
The plays of Chery Tiggo are read very well. Look at that, Madrigal.
And it's back to an 8-point advantage for the Chargers. And Tagaod serves, but that is short. That has been, I guess, the only flaw so far of Akari here in set 1.
And again, for Chery Tiggo, an opportunity to score.
Yeah, almost half of their points coming from Akari's errors. Kyle had to kneel to Soyud on that attack. No touch. Oh, the point eventually awarded to Chery Tiggo. A 9 serving 15 here in the first set. Jasmine Nabor, an early call-up for her. Back set, Soyud. Nunag to defend again. Gives him a second try, and Galang. That one kept alive by Juanco. No whistle. And over pass there led to that scramble on the side of Chery Tiggo. They had the chances, but just couldn't execute as we go to the second technical timeout.
Bitin ba kayo sa games? Watch all the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe! Their highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the United Center in Montalban, Rizal. Mylene Paat on your screens. And Faith Nesperos as well as Erica Raagas supporting their respective clubs here in Montalban for our PVL on tour. This is day number 7 of our conference and our second day in Montalban, featuring the same squads that saw action yesterday. Mamaya naman ang Capital One Solar Spikers against the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Ivy is asking for a touch, is adamant about it, and is able to convince the coaching staff to call for a challenge.
Yeah, she was very quick to look at the bench for that touch.
So block touch is what we are going to review. Coach Tina Salak having a word with Ivy. Nabanggit kanina ni Alexis in our pre-game coverage na less than a week so far of training with her team.
That one seems like it was clear. No touch.
She used her offhand there because she had to manufacture something out of that play, but an unsuccessful challenge for the Akari Chargers. Lead down to 6 points. This is far from over. Cés Robles, though, will have to work from the back at the service line. Domingo gets her 3rd point. 4 Chargers now with 3 points each.
Yeah, I think this is where we see the difference between the two teams right now. You see the distribution happening a lot on the side of Akari. More plays being delivered on the side of Chery Tiggo. They're having a bit of a struggle.
And it doesn't help with those first balls from the side of the crossovers. Just like that over reception. And give me that, says Domingo. An easy dunk. So lead has gone up back to 8. Ang pinakamalaking lamang ay 9 points para sa Akari Chargers. They're looking to bring it back to that. But Robles was there. Galang sends a free ball chance for Akari. Cal goes for the 1-2. Ravenna will give a chance here, but someone is down.
There might have been a collision. Holding on to her head.
Ivy Laxina might have gotten hit on her head. A bit shaken up. We'll have to see what happened in that previous play. Ito yung... Ayun, on that... Oh! That's gotta hurt. So she went for the ball, and Cal obviously was also trying to save the ball. But Ivy hitting her head on the right knee of Kamui Cal, who's also shaken up, by the way. So
both though gave the thumbs up, saying they are good.
Yeah, that's the skull to a knee. Meanwhile, service error here for Elisoyud. 4 na ang errors ng Akari in the service department.
But also, Chery Tiggo needs to realize that at this point, where Akari is already at 18, they need to be able to earn the points. Because so far, it's really been mostly off the errors of Akari.
Well, looks like Ivy's okay after that good first ball. Just had to shake it off. Tagaod. And it drops for Chenny. Ivy Laxina will now head to the service line for Akari. Back set by Nabor to Galang. It should get her going for her first point. That is our spike of the set, brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan. Oh, misreception from Tagaod. A service ace delivered by Ara Galang. Back-to-back points. (13 serving 19). Domingo. Oh, Nunag. Got a hand on it. Tadorador. Straight to Ivy. Here comes Chenny.
Oh.
Tough angle, but finds the spot.
Nice, sharp hit right there. Really avoiding the blockers on the side of Chery Tiggo.
Dulo-dulo talaga, no? Nothing that Nunag could do there. 20-13. Robles just let that ball sail out.
A lot of service errors here for Akari.
5 in total. Really helping out Chery Tiggo in breaking these runs of Akari. Oh, good play there for the Chargers. It started with that first ball from Tagaod.
That really helps, you know. They get a good first ball. They have a lot of options for offense.
And something that Chery Tiggo has not been able to do.
But on the other hand, the service area, there's just really something there.
Yeah, I don't think they had that much errors in the game yesterday against Zeus Coffee, but set 1 already with 6. Nabor will go to Hernandez. Ivy able to save. Here's a redo for the crossovers. Robles will try. It doesn't go over. And instead it goes to us.
A lot
Mark
of
safe.
attempts. Oh, nga, Mark safe. A lot of attempts. You see Chery Tiggo really trying. But the net defense, it's just really manned well for Akari.
And really, they have just built a comfortable lead from the get-go. As you mentioned, umabot sa siyam ang lamang nila. Laxina. Oh, that is back. Nice defense by Adorador. Same with Nunag. Kept alive. Underhand set to Galang. Cal with a pickup. Soyud with a wind-up. And down it goes for Eli Soyud. As the Akari Chargers are 2 points away from getting set number 1.
Really good body language you're seeing from Akari. And again, I can't help but, say it again. The distribution is really good. You see that they try. Sino bang pwedeng makapatay dito? I mean, almost everyone gets a chance. But
it's just two things right now.
They really just have to work on their serves at the moment.
If you did not catch the start of this set, that's the summary of how the Chargers have gotten this lead.
The last 3 points are really off the service errors of Akari. Not to mention those that have been given in the earlier part of the set.
Yeah, double contact on Cal. Medyo nabati rin natin yung playmaking niya. She has been distributing the ball pretty well. Wako couldn't control that serve coming from Jazz Navor, and lead has gone down to 5, which kind of alarms Coach Tina Salak, who calls for a timeout.
Akin yun yung last. Sorry, let's go. Babawi ako! Chargers! Push tayo!
The timeout called by Coach Tina Salak. They're still up by 5 points. But Chery Tiggo is...
But you can't throw away points. They have thrown away a lot at the service line. They have to compensate for it in the other departments.
Yeah, and Chery Tiggo already on a 3-0 run. Make that 4-0 run.
And Ara Galang has been scoring here for Chery Tiggo.
Aimee Hernandez drawing the blockers of Akari, and then Galang doing the rest.
And that was what was missing from them earlier. Walang combination plays. Things have become very predictable.
That one drops inside for Eli Soyud. And now Akari is at set point. Ezra Madrigal will be the one to serve for the set, 24-19. Nunag goes to Galang, easy over. Cal will set up Laksina, and that drops inside. Incredible play there.
No one expected that to land within the bounds of their court.
Look at that. Nunag.
That is a point on her name.
For the libero.
For the libero.
You don't see that too often. Soyud, boy pa. Nunag, underhand set to Galang. We go on. Nabor. This time goes to Adorador. And the run continues. Still breathing and surviving here in set number 1. They're only down by 3. So a couple of set points saved by Chery Tiggo. And Robles is tasked to serve. Laksina. It's out.
Akari unable to close this set. They just need 1 point. But it's been error after error.
Kaya tumatawag ng timeout si Coach Tina. She uses her final timeout here in the first set. But first, let's listen in.
Hey, kuya marinig. Antayin muna natin pumasok yung middle natin. Sa kapit. Sige, nakasok mo na. Pag binibitawan mo So, antayin na natin muna pumasok si Seth. Okay. Pag pumasok, saka mabitaw. Kung wala naman si Mabay at nakita mo nandito na yung dalawa nag-establish, bigyan mo na kay Seth. Okay. Kaya na nagmamadali tayong tatlo. Sindaan na natin yung tamang process. Let's go! Akari! Chargers!
Kung gano'n naman kakalmado yung naririnig mo, di ba? Hindi ka talaga magmamadali. No, but really, it's great to learn from one of the best setters we have in the country.
Couldn't agree more. And an important point that Alexis mentioned also, yung tiwala, diba? That's a trust that she's trying to build with her team. It will take some time being at the helm of this for just a short while pa lang. Pero tignan natin how they will go. But that was the play that they wanted. As she mentioned, puntahan si Seth sa gitna, daanan yung proseso, but it did not work to their favor. And just like that, Chery Tiggo, after being down by 9, are only down by 1 after this 8-1 blast. And are only 1 point from extending set 1. But Laksina, almost. Galang, push. Wanko was there. Soyud. Oh, and another point for the crossovers. And what has happened here? Akari hitting a wall after what seemed like a runaway in an easy set 1 win. Chery Tiggo kept fighting.
You see their composure throughout. You have to thank Akari, of course, for some of the giveaway points, but also we saw them earn.
Yeah.
And really challenge Akari here.
Yun yung babalikan mo yung service errors eh. Because there's a lot of it as play continues. Akari contesting, but they give up a free ball.
Until there is no whistle, sabi nga, game is in play.
Oh, there was a lot of helter-skelter going on. Nagtuturoan, Akari saying na lumapag na yung bola.
Oo.
The challenge right now on the floor.
This is a very important one.
But just going back while we're waiting for the challenge, and yung anim. Or make that 7, I think. 2, 3, 4, 7 service errors from Akari just really allowed Chery Tiggo to stay in this set.
And yun yung sinasabi rin kanina, no, in one of their huddles. They had such a comfortable lead, but I guess they ended up being too complacent. They didn't realize that Chery Tiggo is inching closer.
And also good on the part of the crossovers to not waste those chances. They also did their part. But that time around, the successful challenge for Akari, it did touch the floor, which means they're back at set point.
You know, I want to say something, but I'll wait for Soyo to get her serve in.
Pasok. Galang. The push. A chance here. Soltones is now in the game, and that's exactly why she was fielded in by Coach Tina Salak. Specifically for that purpose, is to end set number 1.
You know, they were in the lead, but they had a tough time closing that set.
And that is our point of the set, brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. No need for a warm-up. She's ready to go as Akari takes set number 1, 26-24. back inside the Nara Center in Montalban, Rizal for your PVL on tour. Set 1 just finished, and it looked like the Akari Chargers were gonna get that set 1 easily, not until Chery Tiggo made a big run towards the end, eventually extending the set. Pero masyado na nga malaki, and then at the end of it, Gretchen Sultones with the most important point off the bench.
You know, that was something tough for Akari. You know, they had a big lead, but they just couldn't close off that set, and they needed someone like Sultones to just really switch things around. I think yung isa dun sa narinig din natin kanina, no, you cannot be complacent.
Yeah.
And I think going into the second set, for Akari at least, they've done well in other departments as we look at the numbers, really leading when it comes to attack, blocking. But, you know, they did score 2 aces, but yung 12 errors or 12 points given up, all at the service line.
Yeah.
Most,
Yeah.
rather, at the service line. And I think that's one thing that they need to improve. Because for sure, kahit papano, itong Chery Tiggo, nakahabol eh. No? Nakahabol, they have some momentum there, some confidence boost as well. Would definitely try to start off stronger this time around.
Actually, it was those errors of Akari in sets 3 and 4 yesterday against Zeus Coffee that allowed the Thunderbells to also bring it to a set 5. So they have to be careful dyan sa mga errors na yan. And we'll find out here in set 2 if they're able to limit those. Meanwhile, for Chery Tiggo, hopefully they have found their groove, especially at the end of that set number 1. Found the right mix of players to get some points in. But that lady right there, Gretchen Sultan, is just really enjoying. Yun lang. No? She's back on the bench.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe later ulit, mag 24 na sila.
Pero yun yung sinasabi natin, no? These are the roles that you need to be ready to accept. No? Siguro, hindi yan yung you get as much playing time, but when you are called, you definitely have to deliver.
And she also played a lot of minutes in the game yesterday, so I'm sure mina-manage din nila yung workload ng bawat isa. But we are moments away from beginning set number 2. We thank all our viewers for joining us this Sunday afternoon for our PVL on tour Dip Dipianco with Anne Remulla-Canda covering the match, and Alexis Tinsay will give us more updates at the sidelines. So we begin with Jenny Tagaud at the service line. So players are back for Chery Tiggo, and Peña Fiel needed that break to get herself in the zone, and right off the bat scores the first point.
That's a good way to boost confidence. Getting that first point in.
Laxina. Peña Fiel. Hernandez keeps it up. A redo for Akari. It's out on the part of Soyud. So this is a 2-0 start for Chery Tiggo. Obviously a much better start to a set for them.
We saw that they do need to level up on the different skill departments, most especially on offense.
This time Sinigurado with that power hit from Eli Soyud. Not much Nabor could do on the first touch.
Also a good call from Cal to set it again to Soyud para makabawi, get that confidence back.
Eli leading all scores with 6 para sa Akari. Hernandez had to make do with that set as we send this first to Alexis Tinsay for a report. Alexis?
Dip and Ann, back inside the Nara Center in Montalban, Rizal. Tumungo naman tayo sa kabilang side of the court. I got to talk to the playmakers of the Chery Tiggo Crossovers, Jas Nabor and Alina Bicar, and they showed poise and precision, especially in the face of Capital One's pushback. Despite being surrounded by a relatively new core, their connection with the hitters, especially rookie Jean Soreño and returning middle Amy Hernandez, looked surprisingly seamless. Bicar admitted there were some first-game jitters yesterday, but what stood out was the confidence in her decisions and the calm she brought to the floor. On the other hand, Jas's trust in her teammates, even the newer ones, allowed Chery Tiggo's offense to stay fluid and unpredictable. With this for sure, the team is quietly building something special, just like that previous point. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Alexis. And seems like they are slowly getting their rhythm in this match. Coach Norman Miguel keeping a straight face. Obviously wants his team to maintain this good start.
We also did show earlier the team standings, and nasa gitna itong Chery Tiggo and Akari, and we know how important it is for the teams to actually make it to the top two.
Top two means you go straight to the quarterfinals of the tournament.
If you are a part of the bottom four, then you have to play a knockout match.
Magko-crossover yung third, sixth against the sixth of the other pool, and then 4 and 5. And then we proceed with the next rounds of the tournament. Meanwhile, Aimee Hernandez puts her name on the board with the first point of the match.
Look at that. Just a single block for Hernandez.
You always are happy when you see players come back from injuries. And her story, obviously, is also a bit different dahil ang tagal, diba? Almost 2 years that she was not playing. Right now, she's helping out her squad, and they get another point.
Better energy here for the ladies in white.
Pauline Gaston is also in the game for Chery Tiggo. First time seeing action here in set 2. Cal sets up Laksina. Aimee. Good cover. Back row from Soyud. Straight to Nabor. They go to Soreño. Changing hands midair. Aimee playing good defense. Robles on the soft touch. Battle of the net. It's back with the white shirts. Jean Soreño almost getting it. Nabor. Back to Robles. Had to use again her offhand. And look at her go. Jumping multiple times. And finally getting that point for Chery Tiggo.
We did mention what they were lacking in set number 1. They didn't produce much on offense. Much better start here in set number 2.
Seven to 3 is the score line.
Communication, what has happened there?
And we go to the first technical timeout. Chery Tiggo up by 5.
Yung game namin? Kung na-miss nyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
The PVL is back and on tour. Watch the heart of volleyball as it goes around the Philippines. Only on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. And of course, you can join in the venue live here in Inares Center, Montalban. If you are nearby, right, medyo malayo-layo ng onte, pwede pang humabol. We have another game happening later on. Right now, it's Chery Tiggo leading the way. Aimee Hernandez commits a service error. Laksina will serve this time for Akari. It's 4-8 in the second set. Back set to Soreño. Wow, what a hit.
Strong, confident hit.
First point for the rookie who played well in her debut. She had 15 points. Talking about Jean Soreño against Capital One. But yun nga, no, just goes to show that's yung limited scoring so far because these players who contributed a lot yesterday, nakakakuha pa lang nila ng mga unang puntos sila.
It's a bit late, maybe matagal uminit, that's what they say. But the blocking for Akari helping them right now.
Good cover for Nunag and Huangco. And Tagaod goes down the line. Nobody home on the side of the Crossovers. Jazz underhand set to Robles. She's been the main recipient of those passes. Tagaod waiting for the ball. Tug by Peñafiel. Laxina does the same. Soyud will try. Underneath the ball, and that sails out.
She knew it. Really a slow start here for Akari. Very different from what we've seen in set number 1. Big difference as well in terms of floor defense, because we did mention that what worked for them was strong net defense. Their floor defense was also good. But this time around, this is where you see yung first ball hindi rin eksakto kay Cal.
Yeah. Medyo nawala to begin this set. But Kamuy Cal makes something out of that play. That's their first point.
Look at that. Maximizes that over-receive.
More back sets to Gaston. Oh, nice play. With a bit of hang time for Pauline.
Something we didn't see much of from Chery Tiggo, those running attacks.
They like that play. Meanwhile, she will head to the service line. 10-6. Quick one, picked up by Soreño. The push! Nabor just outsmarting the defense of Akari.
Knowing that they're not yet in position and no one is manning that corner. Yes. It is good to see how things have shifted. You see Chery Tiggo now controlling the pace of this second set. We're waiting for Akari to have some answers.
That one awarded to Akari. There's an answer that they needed. Contemplating itong Chery Tiggo if they will challenge. But they won't. Now, if anything, at least they have limited their service errors.
That's one good thing. But they now need to bring back the defense that we saw earlier in set number 1.
Jaime Hernandez. Look at her prepared to go for that attack. Now with 2 points.
And we see the points being earned by Chery Tiggo here, not coming off really powerful attacks. There is that effort to have proper placing.
That's a violation for Akari. So a change in setters for the Chargers as Bea Bonafé will now check in for Kamuy Cal. She previously played for the Creamline Cool Smashers. Now in her first conference with the new team. Let's see what she does, and immediately has that connection with Madrigal. Change in tempo, and that was a good play setup. Jaime wants that one, and she gets it. 3 points here in set 2 for her. How hard must that be for Jaime Hernandez? Just going back to that story of her missing out a year and 9 months, 602 days since her match yesterday, diba? Mentally, how difficult is that?
You know, I think maraming factors. And for most who are coming off injuries, that mental part, because you get your body stronger, but that's one thing. And the other part is yung mental. And when you go back in, you give your 100%. Sa iba dyan, parang may konting takot, right?
Yeah.
Especially for these injuries. And it's been a while. Iba yung nagtitraining ka, iba yung actual game also. The pressure is so different.
Of course, we are rooting for her, and she has her training or PT to thank yung coaching staff ng Chery Tiggo to get her back in shape, and her teammates as well.
I think it was a great way to welcome her back, scoring 8 points in their game yesterday.
And a 5-point lead right now that they're enjoying. They go to Robles. One of the better hits of Chery Tiggo in this set as we go to the second technical timeout. First, this is our spike of the set brought to you by Dunkin', pasalubong ng bayan.
All the replays on PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Genierva in attendance, and the Capital One Solar Spikers. Bella Belen, of course, much awaited debut, but she won't be seeing action in the PVL on tour due to national team duties. Same with Genierva para sa Chery Tiggo. But we are all excited for the #1 overall pick to see action in the professional league.
And you know, it's during these times, so pag may draft, talagang a lot of people are looking forward to how the newcomers will perform.
Yeah.
Always so nice to see fresh faces.
And there are rookies that are expected to make an impact immediately, just like Jean Soreño. Diba? Kahapon, sabi natin 15 points, and now doing the same here with her attacks.
Really challenging the defense of Akari. I must say also, Nabor doing an excellent job distributing here and doing the playmaking for Chery Tiggo.
Still a safe lead for them, 17-11. Boniface still is the setter. They were not able to set up a proper play. Juanco picks it up from the attack of Gaston. Tagaod with a wind-up. Peñafiel with a dig. The toss to Robles, who is so athletic and a lot of leaping ability. She can decide nasa taas na saan niya ba dadalhin yung bola. Look at that.
She found a way to score that point off the block.
Has had that lift since her NU days.
Have to think quick. She does just that, the adjustment in midair.
Domingo Nice save from Nunag. Soreño, dug by Juanco. And we're seeing better defense now from the Chargers. Back to Robles. Met at the net. Second try. Bonafe tried to put it away. Instead, she will set up the play to Domingo. It's a bit low. Nabor will attack. That one also low. Unfortunately, they didn't have enough touches left.
And Nabor knew it. Pababa na siya, hindi pa niya nakahawakan yung bola.
Alam natin yan, she will go for the attack if she has the chance. She is an attacking setter.
And she is also in the perfect spot, left-handed. The right side of the net.
And ngayon, she will set up Gaston instead. And it works for Chery Tiggo.
You have to appreciate also how fast things are going now in terms of playmaking here. Lower sets, quicker returns on the side of Akari.
And Akari calls for time.
Tumalon yung center. Pag tumalon yung center po, drop ball. Pero na nakasabit sa manahe ko. Para at least alam natin, hindi tayo nalilito kung saan pumunta. Designator natin, Chili sa'yo, dalawa na. Nagkakaintindihan sa'yo. Hindi po, sarang ako bibigyan mo yung middle. Hindi yung nag-aalangan ka, nag-iisip ka. Kaya ka nag-aalangan, without ka, wala ka sa point. Iwala lang sa listing.
Timeout called by the Akari Chargers, who are trailing by 7 points. We saw some signs of life from Chery Tiggo towards the end of set 1, and they're able to carry it dito sa set number 2.
Meanwhile, Coach Tina telling her team, you can't doubt. It's the confidence they're missing at the moment. Tagaud with a good response.
6 points for Chery Tagaud. Serve in for Bonafe. Peñafiel will try. It's also inside. That catches the line for her second point.
That was a long one. I feel like Akari thought it was on its way out, but it catches that line.
Good setup also from Nabor. That time around. Lumusot. Madrigal also racking up the points. She's got 6. So 6 points from Chery Tiggo, who is serving, 6 from Madrigal, and 6 as well from Sed Domingo. Jazz goes to Rene, and she scores another one.
All boils down to consistency. That is what we're seeing here on the side of Chery Tiggo. And it is parang dito sa Chery Tiggo, it doesn't matter who will get the set. They will all try to score that point.
It's a very comfortable advantage, and it doesn't help those types of receptions. Misread that one from her former teammate. Ivy will attack. Nunag was there. And that's going to be a violation.
Those are the tough ones to keep alive. If the ball is going straight towards the net, it's an art. May timing din yan para abangan.
Jazz goes to Soreño, nabitin. Trying to figure out kung sa kanya ba talaga yung play na yun.
Oh, but good intention to just drop it. Yun lang. It didn't clear the net.
Well, they have to be careful because if they were able to do it earlier, pwede rin gawin Akari yung run na yan. Although it's still a 6-point advantage. And kept alive by the Chargers. Jazz goes to Soreño. It's out. It's wide. And slowly but surely, the Akari Chargers are cutting the lead, which forces Coach Norman Miguel to call for time.
PJ, ang lapad ng net na yan, ang court ang laki niyan, hindi para magka-error ka. Kung mali ang set, ipasok mo lang sa loob. Hindi yung para sa atin pag bumagsak yung ano. Pangalawa, nagbali ka ng bola, si PJ nandito kaliwete, hindi niya komportable position yan. Diba? Saan ang komportable niyang position? Doon. Si right-handed, pwede siya dito. Naintindihan? Sige lang, go, balik tayo!
Focus, Chery!
Just some simple reminders right there for Coach Norman. And ito no, the last 3 points of Akari off the errors of Chery Tiggo. So I think, you know, after that huddle, they have to be able to break that. And Soreño does. It's exactly what he said. Saan ang komportable niyang side? It would be at the right side of the net. They score off that hit.
Soreño really showing her potential and what she can give the Chery Tiggo Crossovers in the long run. Back set, blocked. A rejection to put their team at set point. As Cés Robles can also do it in the defensive side. Another timeout called by Akari.
Tayo momentum. Dahil tumitigil tayo sa floor, kaya tayo nawawala ng momentum. Okay naman ginagalaw natin eh. Huwag lang tayo tumigil para hindi tayo maano.
Yung sa blocking, ang gulo.
Yes, sa open.
Gulo. Doon tayo magsisimula ulit. Mark tayo maayos. Okay.
Mark lang maayos. Walang, Charger! Sobra kayo.
Do it 1 point at a time.
They let that sail out. Back-to-back points after the timeout for Akari.
We've seen it from both teams. Ano? It's really hard to close off a set. I mean, for Chery Tiggo, they only need 1 point to get this set.
Ooh. Lumusot. Robles looking to end it. And the players of Akari caught flat-footed. They were stuck in their position. And Robles will get set number 2 for the Crossovers. That point of the set brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. We'll be back with set number 3 after the break. Back inside the United Center in Montalban, Rizal for your PVL On Tour matchup between the Akari Chargers and the Chery Tiggo Crossovers. The latter tying this one up 1 set apiece after that win in set number 2. What did you see there, Anne, on the side of Chery Tiggo na nag-iba as compared to their first set performance?
We did mention that in set number 1, the output was low in terms of offense. I think that's one of the biggest factors for them in set number 2. They really earned their points. Great distribution in terms of sets, and you'll see that in terms of the numbers. 18 attack points scored by Chery Tiggo. Meanwhile, Akari only producing 11. And I think what's good for Akari, kahit na hindi sila nanalo ng set, and they were able to limit yung kanilang service errors, no, at least in that last set. But for Chery Tiggo, I think it's a good thing to turn things around. They had 17% attack efficiency in set number 1, but in set number 2, it has increased to 41%.
Yeah.
So that's, I think that in itself, yun, kailangan nila maging consistent. They need to maintain that up until here in set number 3.
One of the bright spots for Akari, at least nabawasan yung errors, diba? But the other things also ay nabawasan. So
sumabay.
Sumabay. Kaya they trailed, I think, the entire set number 2. They did not get the lead at all. Same with set number 1 naman. Yung Akari also led the way. So we haven't had a lead change for both of the sets played so far. We'll see how or what set 3 will bring us here for this matchup. Our leading scorers so far, we just saw Ces Robles with 11 points on your screens, and Eli Soyud with 9 para sa Akari. We're ready to begin the third set here on One Sports, on One Sports Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Rookies in action. A lot of them nabanggit natin for Chery Tiggo na draft previously. And look who's in. Mitchell Sultones. After getting the final point in set 1, she is back on the floor. Did not see action in set number 2. Maybe she could be a difference maker. Actually, you can remove the maybe. I think she will be a difference maker because of how she played yesterday.
She should be.
Oh. Boniface continues to be their playmaker. Ball kept alive, and down it goes for Ivy Laxina.
Laxina has also been quiet so far in this match.
First point for the Chargers. It's Madrigal with the serve. Nabor to Peñafiel, covered by Robles. They go to the middle in Rodriguez. Kept up. Ivy sent back. Bonifay with the chase. Gets out of the way for Victoria. Nasa crossovers ang bola. Oh! And Jean Soreño. Just the right power to send that ball over.
And you see that it was intentional. She did take on an approach, seemingly like, she was going to hit it strong. But found that there wasn't any coverage behind the blockers.
Once across the board in sets and points. 11-11, no? Ooh. Ivy couldn't get a touch on that. And point will be awarded to Chery Tiggo as Renee Peñafiel makes her way to the service line. The 26th overall pick. And gets a service ace out of the UST Golden Tigresses, making her mark. Look at that.
Started off a bit shaky earlier with a bit of nerves.
Yeah.
But reversed things in set number 2.
Better first ball. Victoria straight to Soreño. Nunag will give it to Robles. who is the lone double-digit scorer, as we get this report from Alexis Tinsay.
Dip and Ann back inside the Inares Center in Montalban, Rizal. Now for the Chery Tiggo Crossovers, Cez Robles delivered an impactful 17-point performance yesterday, and she told me it was indeed a challenge to play without her seniors, but what made all the difference was the composure and heart shown by rookie Jean Soreño. Cez couldn't help but rave about how big of an impact Jean had on the team, especially during the high-pressure moments. Sobrang saya talaga namin nung na-draft si Jean. Sinabi niya sa akin, she's exactly what we needed, a spark plug, someone who keeps pushing no matter what the situation is. And true enough, that energy translated into a composed and collective team effort, helping Chery Tiggo notch a solid first win on tour. Now back to set 3 to see if they can notch another one.
Thank you, Alexis, for that report. Jean Soreño, as we have mentioned all throughout this coverage, na did not need a lot of time to adjust dahil gumagawa na siya agad para sa kanyang team.
You see some level of comfort, ano? And the chemistry right there.
Especially that one of their vets also not suited up in Mylene Paat. She was also tasked to do more yesterday without Ara Galang, who is now in this game. She saw action earlier. Camps Victoria will serve for Akari. It's 3-4 in the third. Jazz tosses to Robles. Ravenna with a pickup. Ivy, that is inside on the far corner.
That was a long attack. Single block. You know, even I thought it was on its way out, but that spin allowed it to land at the corner. Laxina, just a few points in today's game. Hopefully, this gets her going.
Back set, Soreño. She likes that down the line, but it went wide. And Danny crediting Ivy for her coverage at the net. Early timeout for Coach Norman Miguel. Just a 1-point lead as we listen in.
Hindi nyo kailangan panggigilan eh, di ba? Ang target mo lang naman ito si Ivy, ito lang, hindi makakapigil mo pa ng palabas eh. Tatouch din naman yun eh. Cez, yun sa'yo okay naman ang set yun, hindi ka lang naman lumabas din. Di ba? Alagaan natin yung lamang natin, sayang! Pass lang.
Hindi naman lumabas yung bola rito eh. Sabayan nyo yan, may pawat pa rin yan. Timing lang kayo, 1, 2, 3. Ayun eh. Hindi na 1, 2, 3.
Go guys. Uy!
A timeout called here by Chery Tiggo, but just as the huddle was about to end, I think Jean Soreño is down on the floor. Vomiting. We're not sure what triggered that, but we're hoping that she will be okay. And she is being attended to right now by their coaching staff and I think their medical staff as well. And we hope it's nothing serious. So they were all talking as a team and then went down on the floor. You could hear her coughing.
Now she's up now.
Yeah, yeah. Now she will head to the bench. Papagpahingin muna ni Coach Norman Miguel. It will be
Galang, I believe.
Yeah, who will check in. Now she has played well in this game for Chery Tiggo, right behind Cez Robles with 4 points. And we had nothing but good things to say about her performance this weekend for Chery Tiggo. So she is being attended to while the players are trying to keep warm. It's still the start or the beginning of set number 3. Set 1 went to the Akari Chargers. There was a bit of a scare for Chery Tiggo to get that set and steal it, and then nakuha na Akari. Set 2 went to the crossover, so now set 3 will be crucial. So we play on. Galang tried to avoid the net, but eventually natamaan pa rin niya, so that is a net violation.
They can't slow down. We're talking about Chery Tiggo. Three out of the 6 points of Akari off the errors of Chery Tiggo.
Bonifay will set up Laksina. Robles was right there. Gets the first ball and then goes for the attack. I don't think she gets tired of jumping.
Duran is right there. That's youth.
Ba't ganun? Parang ako hindi ko kaya yung ganun. Youth pa rin naman ata ako.
Youth. Tingnan natin kung pasok pa dun sa ano.
So mababa pa yung tanong ko dun eh. One of the back sets to Domingo. Running attack point for Akari. Seven to 5 is our score. Laksina serving for the Chargers. Multiple tips. Back with the side of Chery Tiggo. Robles this time. Oh, good save from Danny Ravena. Same with Peñafiel. Says again. Soltones was right there. Bonifay went for the attack. And it drops.
You know what? Defense and coverage of Chery Tiggo, not expecting that.
We go to the first technical timeout. Akari up by 3.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
In Montalban, and so far Akari leading the way with 8 to 5 here in set number 3. Laksina still on the service line with 8 points in total for the Chargers. Gaston. Oh, that's a violation. She tried to send it over on the first attempt, did not go over.
A lot of errors here on the side of Chery Tiggo.
Galang answers back. First point here in set number 3 for Ara Galang. Our spike of the set brought to you by Dunkin, pasalubong ng bayan. Oh. At the last second, Victoria going after that ball. Good thing it was high enough. Juanco avoided it. And it went out.
Good call by Juanco.
So Chery Tiggo will challenge for a ball in or ball out. And I think while we're waiting for the chance, we also got an update on Jean Sereno, who earlier in the timeout saw her on the floor vomiting na. Samit lang ata si Jean Sereno. Yun ang sinabi.
Buti naman nasamit ka.
Oo.
Kung nasamit ka na ba ng ganun?
Pag nagugulat ako na may ibig nang sinabi na hindi ako rin.
Nasamit. But you know, adrenaline.
Oo.
I mean, coming off a timeout. So it's good to know na she will be back for sure. Ano? See action from her maybe later on.
So it's inside, successful challenge for Chery Tiggo. And also that's, I mean, that's natural for them dahil nga dala ng game, diba? It's fast-paced, nagmamadali, but also to remind na dahan-dahan.
Dahan-dahanin, yes.
The lesson there is to take it slow.
Minsan sinasabi ng mga coach, huwag kayo magmamadali. Papagalan nyo. But Chery Tiggo seems to be picking up.
Nagmamadali, humabol.
Kailangan, no? They need to have that sense of urgency dahil kapag lumayo pa itong Akari, it will be a tougher job for them.
Robles fires one up and it's inside, and just like that, we are tied at 9-all, and Robles has 16 points.
She doesn't seem to get tired. Such a powerful attacker.
1 point shy from her performance yesterday against Capital One, where she had 17. Domingo keeps the lead on the side of Akari.
That was also a good call to go for a quicker and faster play. We haven't seen much of that, and things are becoming quite predictable. Nakakapwesto na yung mga blockers on both sides of the court.
Bonafe sets up Soltones on the soft touch. Madrigal read Gaston's intention. Robles again. Oh, she is catching fire.
No, the effort is really there for Robles. She gets a lot of the sets. Nakikita niya, binabantayan na niya, but the effort is there in making sure that she tries to vary the angles of her attacks.
Madrigal on the push. Peñafiel had to take a step back. Danny with a save. Soltones. It's out. And lead swings to the Chery Tiggo Crossovers midway set number 3. Kamuy Cal will be fielded back in by Coach Tina Salak. Another good serve by Robles. And a nice dig at that to keep the ball alive. Ravenna does the same for Akari. Victoria had to outstretch her arms. Oh, boy pa. Oh, that is an illegal attack. Well, that's what they're contesting, talking about Akari asking for a foot fault.
All these challenges, if it matters, of course. If it goes in the favor of Akari, this will tie them.
So challenge successful for the Chargers, which means we are tied at 11-all. Gaston asked for it. Laksina was at the right spot. Victoria. Back with Chery Tiggo. Back row from Galang. Inangat kay Peñafiel, who breaks the block.
Nice to see the rookies building confidence, providing some points.
You can get these players, quality players, even in the third round of the draft, diba? And she is showing that she can be part of their rotation. And almost another point, but saved by the Chargers. A joust. Again. But it was on the side of Akari. And the Crossovers are now up by 2.
That can get confusing.
(13-11). Nice take by Gaston. Peñafiel put some power on that. Ravenna with a clear out will set up Soltones. Boy pa. Still playable. Both teams playing good floor defense. A chance for Chery Tiggo to set up the play. Peñafiel kept alive. It's playable. Nabor tries the middle. Cal back set to Victoria. Long rally alert. So no team letting up. Penitence with a rejection at the net.
This was the kind of defense that we've seen from Akari in set number 1, both at the floor and at the net.
Oh, look at the coverage. They were really scrambling for that ball up until the point where Victoria defended it. Madrigal couldn't put it away. Laksina trying to do the same. Nilipat. Free ball. And Nabor saw the perfect opportunity to do that play.
Why not? Again, that peripheral vision, seeing that the middle spot was open. We've seen her do that over the years.
Kyle had to run after that ball. Laksina, nakaabang na si Seth Rodriguez.
Poor first ball for Akari, causing them trouble.
And again, as you mentioned, the first ball, that's hard to time with that set coming from the back. And Chery Tiggo takes us to the second technical timeout. They're up by 4.
Na-miss niyo ba yung game namin? Kung na-miss niyo, subscribe na to our YouTube channel. Subscribe na!
Back inside the United Center in Montalban, Rizal. 4-point advantage for the Crossovers here in the third set. Peñafiel launches one and connects.
great to see again, you know, Chery Tiggo, the chemistry is there with the rookies. You see the rookies getting the chance to build on the confidence.
Now, while Soreño's on the bench, Peñafiel,
someone steps up.
yeah, has got her back. Cal goes to Laxina with her offhand. Rodriguez gets a touch on it. Back with the black shirts. They go to the same play. Ivy kept alive by the crossovers. Nunag smiling as she returns that ball. And finally, Ivy Laxina getting a point. Now in double digits with 10. Took a while. Did not give up on the third try.
She had some attempts, pero nababasa siya, no? The blockers are able to read her.
Jazz to Peñafiel. There's a whistle. Someone clipped the net. Elisoyud apologizes. Had to consult with our second referee, and yep, she knew. Balik sa 5 ang abante ng Chery Tiggo here in set number 3. Cal feeding Ivy once more. Jazz to Galang. Danny for the pickup. Domingo. They're going after it. But it was too long for Robles.
It was a good try. I think she was going for the right angle. Some room for Akari to catch up here in set number 3. (14-18). Last second ditch by Nunag to let that ball sail out. Very slow set for Akari right here.
Jean Soreño returns to the court. But first, a timeout called by the Akari Chargers.
Magkakaroon tayo ng problema doon sa pattern natin. Kasi magulo yung block natin. Hindi ngayon makapaano yung spikers natin kasi nga medyo masakit pa.
Nahirapan lang ako bumaba. Nahirapan lang bumaba.
Okay. Huwag ka na tumalon. Kaya mo na lang maging quality yung bato. Para at least hindi madagdag mo sa pressure doon sa tuhod. Nagkakaintindihan. Hanapin mo din si Ellie. Kasi lagi na pupwersa na tayo kay Ivy. Dalawa na nandun yung blockers natin. Hindi na umikikot. Nakatambay na yung dalawa doon. Bitaw tayo.
Oh, let's go natin, girls!
Pasa natin ah. Pasa natin.
Timeout called, and some of the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells who are waiting for their turn to see action when they face the Capital One Solar Spikers later on. It'll depend on how long this match will last. But Akari getting that point.
Rodriguez nakapanghinayang, no, because she was right there. But, missed that one.
The crowd also knew it, diba? Yung sayang.
Oh, sayang na sayang. But for Akari, may chance pa humabol. They need to do it now.
Can't afford to play side out. They're going for back-to-back points. Laxina, that goes straight to Nabor. Robles off the block. Well, she is not missing her targets here. 18 points for Ces Robles.
I think one thing notable also is her efficiency. I mean, she's, you know, no matter how difficult a set can be as well, sinusubukan talaga niyang maibalik sa kabila.
They go back row to Ivy. Nunag with a steady save. Ravenna gets to it. Soltones. Dug by Peñafiel. Says the chase. Laxina tried her best, but did not make it on time. Robles going for the 20-point mark.
And of course, Nabor keeps feeding that. Why not? Kung mataas yung porsyento.
Soreño with a serve. And an ace! So she is A-okay after that mishap earlier.
Look at that serve suddenly dropping.
Then Akari calls for time.
Ganun na i-deliver natin. Nag-ahabol tayo. So, make sure lang, kailangan natin mag-deliver dyan. Kakaintindihan. Sige, ito na yung time. Ito na yung time para ayusin natin lahat. Kasi wala na eh. Napaikot na natin yung tao dahil sa mga nangyayari. Ano ba talaga ang problema sa loob? Diba? Yun lang. Hindi tayo nag-uusap kung ano yung pattern natin sa block. Nagbubulo. Yung serve natin yung target. Nababago lang. Nawawala na tayo doon sa game plan. Kaya tayo nagbubuluhan. Chargers!
Bella Belen. And as you mentioned, the rest of her teammates in the Capital One Solar Spikers. The #1 overall pick. Can't wait. Shorel Singh with her.
Enjoying a bit of the camera time.
So habang wala pa yung paglalaro sa loob, at least the presence in the arena, diba? Na-excite na yung fans. Chery Tiggo. Good response after the timeout na consistent, no, yung tone ni Coach Tina na very malumanay pa rin, very malambing na.
Parang hindi ka mape-pressure tsaka hindi ka matatakot.
Hindi ko sure kung dahil jet lag din siya dahil nga kakabalik lang.
Kakabalik lang.
But she understands that there is patience needed to, of course, handle this team. Being it her first time as the head coach, changing the system.
This transition phase, talagang kailangan tutukan. But for now, also, I think for Akari, they need to minimize their errors. The pace is really very different. It seems like feels like a much slower set for them.
Renee Peñafiel, I think she's got it figured out. Did not get fooled on that play. Sinabayan si Cal at binalik and puts Chery Tiggo at set point, 24-16. That's way out for Madrigal. And as easy as that, set #3 goes to the Chery Tiggo Crossovers, 25-16. But wait a minute, as the Akari Chargers will call for a challenge.
Not yet, they say.
Black touch is what they are asking for dun sa atake ni Ezra Madrigal.
Well, they've got nothing to lose. If this goes in their favor, they extend it further. But I think, they have to reflect on a lot of things. We're talking about Akari. Ibang-iba yung galaw, no, na nakita natin here in this set than when they started.
Akari winning their first game out of 3 matches yesterday. Looks clean. No block touch. Based on the replay, and the challenge is unsuccessful. So that officially gives Chery Tiggo set #3 in this matchup. Coach Tina Salak and her squad will regroup as we take a look at this point of the set, brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Renee Peñafiel giving it back and getting the set for Chery Tiggo as we take a short break. We'll be back with set #4 right after this.
we are back. We've just seen set number 3 taken by Chery Tiggo, 25-16, played in 27 minutes. It has been a better set for Chery Tiggo. More control is what we've seen, and as mentioned, great distribution, the contribution of the different players. But I think the player that really shined in that set was Robles. She was very consistent. She is now one of the top scorers on the side of Chery Tiggo. But other than that, Dip, nakita rin natin the other players like PVL also building confidence as shown in the numbers. Chery Tiggo scoring more again in terms of offense, 13 as opposed to 9 of Akari. Blocking and aces also in favor of Chery Tiggo in that last set. And pareho yung nakikita nating pattern, better, of course, better efficiency on the part of Chery Tiggo when it comes to their offense. Now for Akari, things have slowed down and they haven't switched out of it. They seem to be looking for that bright spot to help them convert more points.
Sabi nga ni Coach Tina Salak, she has tried all sorts of combinations with the players. She's also trying to figure out what could go right for Akari. Meanwhile, for Chery Tiggo, this lady right here is responsible for a number of points, 19 to be specific for Ces Robles.
This is the kind of noise you'd like to see. And for Robles, she has been consistent throughout this match. Sometimes kasi makikita mo at certain points lang, but for Robles today, again, we see the consistency right there.
Yeah. While Mylene Pat is out, she is helping out her squad. Set number 4 underway here on One Sports, Plus, and on Pilipinas Live. Dip Dipianco with Andre Muliacanda covering this match with Alexis Tinsay as our courtside reporter. There is net touch as well as PVL dropped that one. And first point goes to the Crossovers. So first point for Akari here in set number 4. Soltones will start this set as well. And it looks like Coach Tina is giving her extended minutes. Soyud, Robles, also on point on defense. PVL, that's a bit close. At sarado ng blockers of Akari.
That ball has nowhere to go. It was also quite low for PVL.
Oh, misreception there, PVL. Couldn't calculate it properly, and a service ace delivered by Gretchen Soltones.
Really quality minutes, and this could be a really good start for Akari. Hopefully, this energy from Soltones rubs off on the rest of the squad.
But you also understand, in terms of output, 23 points niya kahapon is only down to 2 today, which is a huge reason as to why naghahanap din sila ng puntos dito sa larong ito. But again, we mentioned factors, and I asked you a while ago dahil nga siguro they're trying to manage the load. It's back-to-back days, diba? So they're also trying to figure out the rotation as we get the support from Alexis Tinsay.
Dip and Ann back inside Inares in Montalban, Rizal. And as you can see for the Akari Chargers, Ivy Laxina told me that she's indeed happy to finally have made a comeback, especially that they had back-to-back losses in Vigan. That win meant everything because it showed that what they've been working on in training is starting to click. Despite only having 5 days so far under coach Tina Salak, she said they've already made key adjustments. The real challenge now, she adds, is letting go of the old system and fully embracing the new, because admittedly, some of the players have gotten so used to their former system. Let's see if they can bounce back this set 3 and extend this match to a 5-7.
Thank you, Alexis, for that report. Well, that system allowed them to get podium finishes for their young franchise, but right now it's a new era for the Akari Chargers with Coach Tina Salak. Oh, solid hit from Soyud as she apologizes for that. Went straight to Seth Rodriguez, and she's gonna feel that one later.
All part of the game, of course. For Akari, who is down 2 sets, I think the way in which you score the points, it also matters. You have to sort of like give that intimidation factor on the side of Chery Tiggo.
Dug by Soyud. Laxina and Nabor unable to get that up properly. Akari now up by 3 points. So it looks like this is the lineup that Coach Tina will work with in hopes of extending the match to a 5th set. Jazz to Robles. Oh, nabasa na siya dun. One of the rare times that she was stopped. A while ago, they couldn't find an answer to her, pero this time, naibalik nila.
Well, that is bound to happen. They have been going to her. She has the hot hands, but you know, at some point, and we see that from Akari, you know, they have tall blockers right there at the net.
Soreño, and speaking of tall blockers, they're towering over the net, sending the ball back and leading us to the first technical timeout. It's 8-3 in favor of the Chargers.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the United Center in Montalban, the celebration after that block point.
So back-to-back block points for Akari. Really showing dominance right there at the net.
3 blocks for Laxina, 4 para kay Eli Soyud.
Oh. Sultanes already going for that corner.
Oh. Parang nabali pa yung likod
Oh,
niya. No?
momentum was taking her already to the right side. Biglang bumalik yung bola sa kabila.
Ayun, medyo napa. Anong tawag sa ganun? Matrix. Pag ganun eh.
Napabend yung ano niya.
Oh, Cal tried to make do with that play. It was tough. And the point went to Chery Tiggo. And again, they have to be careful because yung 9 points na lamang nila in set number 1, muntik pang mahabol ng Chery Tiggo. All the more this lead with Chery Tiggo looking to close this one out in 4 sets. Laxina. It is short. And she acknowledges that, takes accountability. Dalawa na lang ang hinahabol ng crossovers.
Coach Tina very active at the sideline, really giving instructions to Cal. Well, she has 2 attackers right now.
Domingo. Oh, Nunag has been spectacular with those digs. And the efforts are rewarded thanks to Jazz Nabor.
Nabor as a setter, one of her strengths really is yung pag nasa tabi ng net, talagang nananalo siya sa joust at the net.
Sakto yung absorption ni Nunag. Nakascore pa yan kanina. Helping out her team. Timeout called by the Chargers.
Hindi naalis yung dalawang blocker dito. Hindi naalis. Pili tayo dito. Kung gusto mong i-running, sige. Pero sige, dito tayo. Nandito lang naman yung isang blocker eh. Natatapat lang, pero mahirapan siya kung dito mo bibigay mo dito. Naka-establish. Kung mahirapan ka naman ulit, na hindi mo makita yung middle mo, dito tayo. Ivy, importante, pag naibigay sa'yo, importante, kunin mo sa taas. Masyado mababa yung kuha mo, kaya naka-ano na rin, naka-establish na. Gawa natin ang paraan lahat ng ano.
Patulak lang ako ng pasa konti dun pa.
Tulungan natin si Moy. Maasa tayo na mabagal lang. Tiger!
Some adjustments being asked by Coach Tina for Cal. Dahil nga naman nandun na yung mga blockers. And Laksina also being asked by Coach Tina, kailangan niya kunin yung bola sa taas. I mean, she has the height advantage. She is one of the tallest players on the floor.
Hindi na nakausad yung Akari after they got to the first technical timeout. Instead, Chery Tiggo Crossovers are on a run. 4-0. Make that 5 after that last point by Pauline Gaston.
They've scored in a variety of ways off the errors of their opponent, but you know, they've also earned a block point. They've done well on offense.
Back set to Domingo. Nakabawi right away.
Yan yung sinasabi ni Coach Tina kanina, no? Pwedeng ibigay kay Sed, but Cal also asking, pwede bang pakibigay yung bola? Medyo dito. I think they're having a difficult time executing these plays kung bitin yung kanilang first ball.
Sed Domingo reaches the double-digit mark with 10. Laksina and Soyud have 12 each. Para naman sa Chery Tiggo Robles pa rin ang nangunguna with 20 points. Soltones. Jazz goes back to the hot hand. And why not? As Ces Robles breaks the block. You can also see the concern on her opponent. Lest we forget, Ces Robles is the finals MVP for NU back in season 84 in their championship. So she is that type of player that you can count on. That's outside for Domingo, and lead swings now to the crossovers. Laksina, it's inside. Oh, they've been trying and trying to feed her. Not the highest of efficiency for her, but they will take that.
That's the reminder of Coach Tina. It's been challenging for Laksina, and the blockers get a touch kasi mababa yung kuha niya sa bola. But I think in that last attempt, it was better execution.
Yeah. Peñafiel waits to unload. Cal had to run after it. Soltones with a bit of a step back. Nabor to Robles. Nabasa ni Gretchel. She goes up for the spike. Jazz faked the attack. Went to Gaston. Play continues. Victoria was red. Isa pa, sabi niya. And Chery Tiggo with a defensive stop. Play on. Not yet. Peñafiel. No. Domingo with a bump. Gretchel. Soreño for the pickup. Back row to Ces. Soyud with a save. Ivy on the push. Tuloy pa rin. Walang hulugan. Soltones. That is set back. for Gretchen Soltones. And the point will go to the Chery Tiggo Crossovers, huffing and puffing.
And bakit hindi? That was a long exchange. Soltones catching her breath. And you see people on the side of Akari calming each other down. They had the lead. They want to keep the lead. But in order to do that, they need a good pass right now. They're down by 1 point.
But a service error there for Gaston. Brings us back to a tied game. What a rally that was, though. No team letting up. Amy Hernandez is back on the floor, by the way, para sa Chery Tiggo. 11 all. That's still good. Cal tosses to Soltones, and down it goes.
And this is the consequence for Chery Tiggo on sending that ball over easily.
You saw the reaction of the bench. Hindi pa sila sobrang makaselebrate because they know that they are far still from extending this with how Chery Tiggo is playing.
Right?
Lots of things can happen. Soltones off the block. 4 points.
Soltones has been delivering. Again, not to the same level as yesterday, but so far, it has been helping them here in this set.
Kaya pa maghabol ng puntos. Timeout for Coach Norman Miguel.
Naintindihan? O tibay ulit tayo sa pasa. Magkaroon kayo ng pakiramdaman pag hindi na pumalit si Jasmine doon, ikaw na yung sa dulo dito. Tira mo, tinulak ka niya na dito para sa dulo ka, di ba? Naintindihan? O tapos na yan, tapos na yan. Wala nang error, guys. Sayang, nasa atin ang momentum. Makinig kayo. Yung kalaban natin pagod na. Yes, yes.
Tibay floor, tibay floor. Tibay block. Hospital natin, Chery!
Timeout called by the Crossovers as the lead has swung back to the Akari Chargers. We have had 3 lead changes here in set number 4. 5 deadlocks, which are the numbers as well in set number 3, but we might surpass that here in the 4th set. We continue the action. Binigay kay Soyud, bitin. That is short, an attack error for Eli Soyud. One-point game here in set number 4. Chasnabor serving. That is low. And did not go over for Victoria.
These are the lapses you'd want to avoid. We're talking about Akari.
That's how fast it could change sides, diba?
Soyud, though, hitting strong here in this set.
She and Laksina are teaming up with 13 points.
And this should be good because they are both in the front row, the front line for Akari.
Let's see if they'll be able to take advantage. Peñafiel, Soltones was there, bit tight for Cal, but nagawa ng paraan. Soyud. That went off the block, but it dropped right in.
You know that's tough kasi wala ka na talaga. No coverage would be there. Look at that. Just slightly hitting the sideline.
What about the rookie, Rene Peñafiel? Also helping out at the net. Now with 9 points for the rookie. Laksina targets the back.
Single block. makes it easy for Laksina.
Oh, it drops for Cavs Victoria. Service ace delivered. As we go to the second technical timeout.
Player highlights, we got you covered. Subscribe now to the PVL YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Back inside the United Center in Montalban, Rizal. And more people have joined us in the venue for PVL on tour. Day number 7 of our tournament. Second day here in Montalban. Tina Wong. The crowd always loves a Tina Wong sighting.
Napaisip ako eh. Wala pang action pero may cheering na.
Matik yan pag nagsigawan. May idea ka sino yung nakikita nila. One-point game. Amy Hernandez at the service line for Chery Tiggo. Cal goes to Soyud. Tag by Nabor. Gaston on her hand to Soreño, who will have to give an easy ball. They go back to Ellie.
And that's gonna be tough. A single block against Soyud. She has been consistent here in this set. And as a result, of course, they go to her more.
Robles. Naibalik. Chance here for Akari. Cal. Back sets to Domingo. It's wide and out. So, because of these errors, again, they are allowing Chery Tiggo to stay within distance. Jean Soreño at the service line. Oh, that's over received. Chance. Robles, though.
Asking for a check.
Yeah, she is asking for a challenge. And looks like they will press the buzzer, ask for a block touch.
If you're Chery Tiggo, you'd want to close it already here in this set. You want to get into the 5th set, a much shorter set, and yung fatigue, no? Yung pagod will also be there. I mean, these ladies also played yesterday. And you see them catching their breath. Kailangan nila nung kailangan nilang maisara na agad. But for Akari, as if we look at that slow-mo, lightly touching the side of the hand.
Daplis lang, no?
Daplis na daplis.
Which means we are all tied up at 17 all. And as I've said, we were going to surpass that number of deadlocks. Our 8th deadlock already here in set number 4. Better first ball mula kay Soltones. And Domingo gets the point. There was a brief moment of pause for everyone trying to figure out if lumapag na ba yung bola.
Because she had to adjust. But, you know, after that point, you see Domingo talking to Cal. I think the connection needs to be better.
Yeah.
Parang hindi masyado nagtatagpo yung timing nila.
But this will help them. The service ace delivered by Ivy Laksina for her 15th point of the match. This is her highest output, by the way, in the PVL on tour. Her previous points were all in single digits. Timeout called by the Crossovers.
Ibigay na yung katawan nyo. Di ba? Naintindihan? Tsagain nyo na yung mga dinadrapon. Suburin nyo na, ilalim na tayo doon. Di ba? Let's go!
Kaya yan, kaya! Tapos na yan. Kami tayo ngayon. Manang. Guys, Chery! What's up?
Timeout called by Chery Tiggo. (19-17), muntik na rin ako. Si Mama Lars kasi. Play on, 2-point lead. Cal will set up Laksina, saved by Soreño. Oh, that's too tight. That's too tight.
Yeah, even for Robles, couldn't get to that.
For someone who is that athletic, I couldn't do much to operate. And lead has gone up to 3 points for the Chargers. They are 5 points away from bringing us to set number 5. Robles. Oh, Laksina sends that ball into the stands.
Nabor also allowing Robles makabawi siya with a better set.
A little of a spike coming from Cés Robles, who now has 23 points. He's also once a best server in the UAAP. Peñafiel. Ravena for the steady save. Soyud. Oh, with the adjustment midair. Ayaw niyang maiwan. 15 points. Naghahabulin lang sila ni Ivy.
Dito humahabol, no, in this set. And you see her earn those points. Hindi lang sa palakasan ng atake. You see her really challenging the defense of Chery Tiggo.
21-18. Jazz on a back set to Gaston. Victoria was able to pick it up. Soltones attacks and scores.
All things working on the side of Akari. And this is what you want, ano? Yung sabay-sabay sila in terms of efficiency. Most of the sets really converted into points. Ito yung naaamoy na natin yung what's to come here in this game.
And there's a collision there. Akari will look to take advantage, but naka-recover agad ang Chery Tiggo. Peñafiel sent back. A redo. Back row from Robles. Denied by Camps Victoria. No entry.
Look at that. Well read by Victoria.
5-point lead for Akari. Chery Tiggo shuffling their players. Naghahanap ng pangontra. Alina Picar is back after a long while as their setter. Peñafiel. Easy pickings for Laksina. Here it goes. Soyud clipping the net. Nunag goes to Galang. Back with Akari. Laksina flies in. Soyud able to save. Soltones wanted to attack. Instead gave up a free ball. Peñafiel with a wind-up. Nunag with a reach. Galang. Yes! Oh, you love to see that from both teams.
The quality of the defense that we're seeing from both teams. Finally, Galang ending that.
Saktong-sakto yung bunot ni Coach Norman Miguel.
Ito yung mga situation na mahirap because Akari is already at 23 but still doable.
Isa pang bunot. Chang Abby in the game to serve. It's out!
And yun yung mga, if you're on the side of Chery Tiggo, yun yung ipagdadasal mo. Ay, hoping for more errors to be committed.
Three-point lead. Chery Tiggo looking to cut it down some more. That one was a dig by Soyud. Was conscious of the line. Bicar goes to Hernandez. And Ivy scores. A 3-0 run by the Crossovers.
I think it was also a good call to make changes on the setting end for Chery Tiggo. Change the complexion of how they're playing this latter part of the set.
She is back. And a timeout called by the Chargers.
Okay. Ha? Pwede tayo mag-stay? Pwede tayo dyan. Kung alanganin ka doon sa decision making mo, marami mo itong dalawa. Kung sigurado ka na ibibigay sa middle, okay? Pero kung alanganin, porsyento na dito si Greta. Yes, Coach. Pero, pag binigay mo yung Greta, dito tayo. Okay. Ate, dito ka lang. Kaya mo ibabaw. Girls, tsagaan natin sa counter. Charger!
Smiles from Mylene Pat and Jen Yerva as their team are trying to come back here in set number 4 and giving Akari another scare as they will be tested on how to close this one out once more. Pagkakataon para sa Chery Tiggo and Renee Peñavel cuts the lead down to a single point. She's got 10 points in total.
Ito yung sinasabi nila, kapit. That is what we're seeing from Chery Tiggo, and the attitude and also the experience, the combination of the rookies as well as seasoned players.
Pamatay sunog.
Oo, but itong si Victoria.
Oh, they badly needed that point from anyone. And it came from Cam's Victoria, who puts Akari at set point. Kamui Kal will serve 24-22. Good first ball. Here comes Renee. Down it goes for Renee Peñavel, the 26th overall pick. Says it doesn't matter what round.
Look at her deliver. But I think this is what we've seen, closing out a set doesn't come so easy. At least in this game, parang hirap nung lapit mo na, pero papahirapan ka muna nung kalaban. Just 1 point to close. We're talking about Akari.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can do it.
1 set point saved. Oh, Soltones with a blockbuster that brings us to set number 5. Take a look at that once more. The point of the set brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. We are going to a 5th and final set. Welcome back inside the United Center in Montalban, Rizal. As we are going to set number 5. Are you surprised, partner?
Parang hindi na nga eh. Naamoy na natin yan kanina. We saw how things were going. Could really go either way. We saw Akari pull things off in that set number 4.
We're seeing the highlights right now from set number 4. Muntik pa ulit makabahabol yung Chery Tiggo Crossovers. But again, nakapag-ipon na ng lamang itong Akari Chargers, and just when they needed it most, when their backs were against the wall, they forced this into a 5th setter. We take a look at the numbers and break down what happened in that 4th set.
You know, despite the fact that Akari scored more in offense, parang medyo dikit pa rin. It's a 2-point difference, 15 as opposed to 13. I think what really spelled the difference in that set was their impeccable blocking at the net. I mean, they did score 4 block points. Not part of this, of course, in stat sheet, yung mga naibalik lang nila, no? And their aces as well. They gave Chery Tiggo a difficult time, and I think that is why nahirapan gumawa ng plays itong Chery Tiggo in that last set. However, for Akari, they still gave away a lot of points off their errors. So just a few things to look at. This is going to be a much shorter set. We're talking about the 5th set, and so I think for both teams, it is crucial. Will Chery Tiggo manage to minimize their errors? Hindi lang sila nagkaroon ng maraming output. But for both teams now, as they enter the 5th set, it is important they minimize their errors. Kasi sayang yung pamigay, and there's little time. Wala nang room humabol.
Kumbaga, isang pikit mo lang here in set 5, di ba? Nandun na tayo sa bandang dulo. This is gonna be a quick one, race to 15 for Akari. Their blocking has been on point. It's back. That has been a big help to them with regards to extending this match. Meanwhile, for Chery Tiggo, they have a number of options. All of a sudden, right behind Robles, there's Peñafiel, who has 11 points. Soreño has 6. Nabor, Hernandez, Galang with 5 each. And Cés Robles, just to mention, has 23 in total. Para naman sa Akari, Laksina and Soyud with 15 points each. And Ced Domingo with 11. We welcome you all to set number 5 here on One Sports. On One Sports Plus and on Pilipinas Live. Tip Bianco with Anne Remulla Kanda covering this match, and Alexis Tinsay will give us one last update within the 5th set. Quick start. First point goes to Akari, courtesy of Ivy Laksina.
Ivy was quiet at the start of this game. But, as we progressed, that's when her game picked up.
Peñafiel answers right back with a bullet. Medyo skeptical ako dun sa sinasabing confidence part kanina, because when you're seeing her spike, she is full of confidence as well.
Kailangan lang ng pep talk and konting confidence boost.
Maybe assurance also on the part of Peñafiel from her teammates as a newcomer here. Meanwhile, Soyud with a point. They get the lead back here, 2-1 in the 5th. Nabor, inangat kay Robles. Ravena with a stretch. Laksina goes for the attack. It's high enough. Nunag with a chase. What an effort for Angela Nunag. And it's still playable. Oh, look at the defense of Chery Tiggo. Keeping the ball alive. Isa pa for Akari. It's out.
Laksina asking for a check. There is none.
What a play for Chery Tiggo.
I have to commend their defense. Kasi nakita natin yung effort ng Akari na ibalik na mabilis with a quick set. It's because they know humabol lahat ng depensa ng Chery Tiggo, but they were able to position themselves rather quickly.
Grabe yung habol doon ni Nunag. Parang nakatapak sa gas talaga. Hindi pumreno and got to that save. And then the service ace delivered by Aimee Hernandez, whom we've been talking about this game also. What a great story for her to come back after almost 2 years of not playing volleyball. And what a time to get that ace. Another good serve. Underhand set to Laxina. That's high enough for Robles. Nabor to Soreño off the block. 3 straight points for Chery Tiggo. So that blockbuster forces Akari to call for time.
Short ball, yung short ball kunin natin. Kailangan muna natin pumasa bago tayo mataas. Tulong tayo sa short ball. Okay? Any, hingi bola. Kung lang ang pwersa siya, ay dito hingi tayo bola. Gretch, hingi tayo bola. Kakaintindihan. Isolate natin. Kung gusto natin papaluin mo, kung sino, i-isolate natin. Ikaw bahala mag-dictate ko sa dadali ng pasa. Kakaintindihan.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Sama tayo! Sama-sama! Sama-sama! Chargers!
Timeout called by Coach Tina Salak. Their team trailing by 2 points here in set 5. Naomi Hernandez continues to serve. She just had an ace. Oh, serving has been on point for Hernandez. Laxina needed that one.
And that was a clean point for Laxina. Again, we have been talking about how urgency is there. If you are playing the 5th set, you can't let your opponent take such a big lead.
Ivy will serve. Shank pass there for Nunag. Ravena with a good dig. Soltones straight to Nunag. Robles, that is out.
No check.
Akari says no. Chery Tiggo says there is a touch. And they will challenge for a block touch.
All these challenges are very important here in this set. It is just the start of the 5th set.
Yeah.
But again, both these teams won their games yesterday. You'd want to end this weekend also on a high note.
What about Akari though, playing back-to-back 5-setters in less than 24 hours?
It's good, it's a good way for them to keep their endurance in check.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know, physically and mentally, because it gets draining.
Yeah. I feel for them. I can just imagine the body pain that they will feel later on. A good thing yung schedule din natin here in PVL Tour where there are days of rest so they can recover. That one an unsuccessful challenge for Chery Tiggo, which means the score stays at 4-all. Nabor goes back to Robles. That one is out for Soltones.
It was a good target. Just a few inches long.
Jean Soreño at the service line, 5-4 in the 5th set. Cal to the middle. Domingo easily picked up by Soreño. The runner by Maranio doesn't work. Soltones. Jean was there. Robles with the approach. Another out. And Chery Tiggo will not challenge. They will save that one. And we are all tied up at 5 apiece.
I think for Robles, who's had very consistent attacks earlier, now getting bothered by the blockers.
Jazz to Ses. Soyud popped it up high enough for Soltones. but just couldn't get it in. And in the process, tripped. She is okay. That's what's important. Unfortunately, they didn't get that point. So balik sa Chery Tiggo ang abante. 4 deadlocks and 1 lead change so far here in set 5. Soyud. It drops. 5th deadlock. In these 6 points that each team has scored.
Soyud has scored off that area multiple times in this game. She has been consistent.
Oh, Jazz Labor, the guts to make that play happen at this point of the match. She was sure of it. Too quick for the players to react. Aranyo serving. Cal. The push by Soyud. Almost a point. Hernandez gives up a free ball. Chance for the Chargers. Here comes Ellie. Oh, that's long.
Too strong for Soyud.
And sails out. And we are going for a court switch at this point of the game. It's Chery Tiggo up by 2, 8-6. As we get an update from Alexis Tinsay.
Dip and Ann, we are here back in the Inares Center in Montalban, Rizal. And it's the last and final set of the match, and both teams are laser focused on taking this win home so that they would have a complete weekend full of victories. And as of that, for Akari, Coach Tina mentioned to them, they should just continue what they did back in set 4 to continue the momentum, always prioritize a good pass, and moreover, there are no more room for errors. On the other side of the court, the focus of the crossovers is to communicate and have this endgame to themselves to get a 2-0 up the ranks. Let's see who will dominate and rise to the occasion. Back to you.
Thank you, Alexis, for that report. Well, they will give it their all this time as Amy Hernandez scores another one for Chery Tiggo. You can just imagine the emotions going through her head right now. Yesterday, after the game, she was emotional. She held back her tears, but this game is about to be big for them if they go on to win. Another timeout here for Akari.
Make sure na ipasok na natin sa loob ng court. Hindi na kailangan i-puntos pa. Mag-struggle sila dun sa depensa. Malaking bagay na eh. Kaysa tumatapon tayo ng atake. Dami. Okay? Kakaintindihan, boy. Itaas lang muna natin. Huwag tayo magmamadali sa set. Backline ka naman, hindi mo kailangan i-jump set. Kailangan na equality yung bato natin. Basta yung judgment mo, tiwala ka mo yung judgment. Kakaintindihan. Tayo! Ate! Akari! Chargers!
Zeus Coffee Thunderbells waiting for their turn to take center court.
Meanwhile, Coach Tina just asking, kailangan nila porsyento at this point. Ayaw niya magtapon ng puntos. They have been committing some errors.
Tag by Maranyo. Ravenna does the same. Redo for Soltones. Gets a touch on it. And they connect.
And yun yung sinasabi ni Coach Tina. Hayaan nyo silang mahirapan dumepensa. Let's not throw away the points. And she got a good response from the ladies in black.
7-9 is the score. Robles from the back. Naiangat. Ravenna with a pump. Soyud will give up a chance ball. They go to Nabor. Soltones. Kept alive. Hernandez again. Coming up big here in set number 5. She has scored 3 points out of her 8 in set number 5. Are we sure that it was that long? It seemed like she was playing in between those months
Again, it's not just about the physical preparation, but the mental preparation as well for Hernandez.
Akari gets a point in that instance. Only down by 2 points are the Akari Chargers. They are within distance here. Peñafiel, that doesn't go over. Oh.
Hits the tape of the net. Oh, but there is a violation. Is there?
Yeah, and they won't contest. Oh, again, these errors will hurt and haunt Akari in the end game, just like those service errors back in the first part of this match. Soyud asking for a check, none given. The lead has gone up to 4. And Chery Tiggo are 3 points away from winning this match.
Some changes here on the side of Akari. Ito yung sinasabi ni Coach Lina, huwag tayong magtapon, but that has been their problem, at least here in the 5th.
She is forced to change the tempo of the game, fielding in Chenny Tagaud. Laksina, Peñafiel pumped up after that save. Why not? That was a solid save. A bit low, but it drops nonetheless. Akari getting that much needed point. No timeouts left here for Akari, so they have to make do with their players on court and have to play flawlessly to get back in the game. Nabor, Robles, Ravenna with a save.
Oh, that's gotta hurt.
Unfortunate for Ivy Laksina.
You see the frustration on her face. Dahil there is no more room for errors. Again, a much shorter set. They have to believe that they can score the points, and at the same time, hopefully, Chery Tiggo also commits some errors.
Daps Dapol checking in for the first time to serve para sa Chery Tiggo. That one returned to sender. Ivy will try again. High enough for Nabor. The bump by Peñafiel to Robles. Set back and ricochets onto her face. A point for Akari. Ivy will now serve for Akari. And she has to forget about those errors earlier. 10-13. Steady reception from Nunag. Soreño! Wow!
What about that attack? So authoritative. I mean, an explosive approach. Look at that. Really avoiding the blockers on the other side.
That one is a fireball. Puts Chery Tiggo at match point.
Really great showing by the young ones.
And it ends with a service ace delivered by Jean Soreño. And the Chery Tiggo Crossovers get their second win. Unblemished here in our PVL on tour.
Excellent teamwork we've seen.
This is our point of the set, brought to you by Myra. Be Vita Brighter with Myra's vitamin-powered whitening lotion. Jean Soreño delivering the goods and giving them the win. The number 8 overall pick in this year's draft, celebrating with her teammates. And that does it for our incredible matchup tonight. Our third 5th setter in the tournament. Dalawa dyan nilaro ng Akari. At hindi ko nasasabihin kung ano pa yung dahilan.
Sulit na sulit,
oh,
diba?
Yung biyahe.
Ang biyahe. And, you know, again, what a weekend, especially for Chery Tiggo. You would want to end, you know, this weekend on a high note, and they do so. Great contribution from everyone in the team, especially the young one.
We see the player of the game, none other than Ces Robles. We mentioned her caliber. She can do it. Has been the finals MVP a couple of times back in the UAAP, one in the juniors, one in the girls, one in the seniors, and then now playing huge with 23 points in total for the Crossovers. And more importantly, the victory para sa Chery Tiggo.
And all the wins are very important. But this lady here, Rob, is showing no fear.
She says goodbye to the fans. They go undefeated here in Montalban. Up next, we have the Capital One Solar Spikers and the Zeus Coffee Thunderbells. Both teams looking to get back on the winning, or at least get their first win here in the PVL on tour. That does it for us here in our first match. On behalf of our director Marvin Chavez, my partner Anne Remulla-Canda, our courtside reporter Alexis Tinsay, my name is Dip Bianco, saying thank you for staying with us for another fifth setter here in the PVL on tour. Stay tuned for more of the heart of volleyball.
Perez, and we're having our detour here at Montalban, Rizal. We are here today at Avilon Zoo, the biggest zoo in the Philippines. Kaya talaga tayo nandito sa Avilon Zoo kasi naghahanap ako ng team mascot namin, yung unicorn. So, sana makahanap tayo, di ba? We found the African lions. They're over there resting. No? Oh my gosh, nakataas yung mga paa nila, like resting lang. Since wala pa tayo nakikitang unicorn, hanap muna tayo ng eagle. Ayan. Alam niyo ba, I was teased as a giraffe before. Kasi I was really tall when I was in grade school. Oh my God, what was that? Lalaki. So his name is Barry. May palapit na siya. Hi! Hi, Barry! So, Barry, kamusta ka naman? Oh. So, mukha ba ang giraffe? Mukha ba kami ni Barry? Barry Akari. So, wala tayong nahanap na chameleons, but makahanap tayo ng snakes. Ayan sila, okay. They're kind of scary. Hindi ba to chameleon? Ay, lizard siya. Hi to our sister team, next lead. Hello. It was calling me kanina, making the sounds. So this is the white-bellied sea eagle. Si Danny, di joke lang. Very, eagle focus, ganon, Danny. So that ends our journey today. Wala man tayong nahanap ng unicorn, marami naman akong nakita for the first time na animals tulad ng lion, tiger, leopard. And we'll see you at the next detour. Bye!